They booed her. She didn't say a word to the crowd. Um, People talk some trash to her, but
How vicious Indiana Fever fans are. No space for hate. No space for real sports fans. Quit playing sports. It's crazy. This league wanted to grow. Oh, but we only want to grow a certain way.
The WNBA wants to grow, but they can't handle the fans they're attracting. Why are Fever fans getting slammed for booing DeWanna Bonner? Sports are all about passion. So why is the league treating it like a problem? This reaction might say more about the WNBA's struggle to adapt than about the fans themselves. Let's break down how this clash could reshape women's basketball forever. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. What if the WNBA's push to bring in more fans is actually creating a new tension with its audience? During a game between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun,
DeWanna Bonner comes in. She gets booed by Fever fans, and I said, oh shit, here we go.
they booed her. She didn't say a word to the crowd. People talk some trash to her, but
Because after the game, we'll probably hear from Alyssa Thomas talking about how racist Indiana Fever fans are.
DeWanna Bonner was hit with a wave of boos from the Fever crowd. Now, booing at a sports event isn't exactly breaking news. It's part of the landscape in leagues like the NBA or NFL. But in the WNBA, this became a full-blown conversation across social media and beyond.
How vicious Indiana Fever fans are. No space for hate. No space for real sports fans.
she's a legend, and just all the things that she's done for the league, and just the disrespect. I can't get down with it.
Question mark. You can't boo. Somebody was gonna get their thong in a bind.
At the center of this controversy is Kahleah Copper, who made it clear she was not happy with the crowd's reaction. Copper's frustration was obvious. Her response wasn't just about Bonner having to face the noise. It felt personal, like she was sending a message to the wider WNBA community, one that reflects how some players view fan behavior. This is where things get tricky. Are fans crossing the line, or is the WNBA itself struggling to understand what sports culture looks like when it grows beyond its original audience? To break it down, booing is a universal language in sports, right? It's as common as cheering.
Her boo thing got disrespected by the booing on DeWanna Bonner. Oh, the legend. My goodness.
I think she handled it well. I don't understand, like,
In the NBA, LeBron has been booed plenty of times. Tom Brady? Forget about it. He's heard it his entire career. It's often seen as a live, in-the-moment reaction, the kind of passion leagues thrive on. So why was it different here? Fans didn't just wake up and decide to target Bonner. The game had tension. Bonner's performance was heating up, and the Fever crowd wanted to throw her off. It wasn't just noise, it was strategy. But when you compare it to the WNBA's fan history, the response makes more sense.
The legend that plotted her way out of town so she could play with her friend to play in an opposing fan base's arena. It's supposed to stress you out. Let's set the table for these comments from Kahleah Copper, because she's the one that went after the fans.
The league has built an identity on inclusion and support, shaping a unique fan culture along the way. It's a community, not your typical hyper-competitive arena. And while that's been its strength for years, players like Caitlin Clark are pulling in a new wave of fans. Fans who think rivalries and trash talk are part of the fun. What happens when these worlds collide? It's not just one incident or one star player anymore. It's a question of whether the WNBA can adapt and merge these different groups into something stronger, or if this divide will only grow wider. If the WNBA wants to grow, why does it seem like they're treating passionate fans as the enemy? This was the question hanging in the air after Fever fans booed DeWanna Bonner, sparking debates across the league. In traditional sports leagues, moments like this wouldn't even raise an eyebrow. Booing is normal.
She's the one. Blew her wig right off. They were booing so hard, it blew my wig right off. Man, you're kidding me. Actual sports fans don't give a rip about that. We want to be entertained, and we want to trash talk.
Coming in for number 14, DeWanna Bonner.
It's a way for fans to inject energy and show loyalty to their team. Take the NBA, for example. Players get booed every night, especially during free throws or when tensions are high. In fact, that's part of what makes the live atmosphere electric. But somehow, in the WNBA, this same behavior has become a hot-button topic, and some fans think the league's response was way too sensitive. The entire incident brings up a bigger issue. Are expectations around fan behavior in the WNBA completely out of sync with sports culture?
All right, and she's like, "Oh, we don't tolerate booing in this league. Well, we don't want no sports fans in this league." There she is right there. She's jawing with fans. She mad because her boo. WNBA fandom is shifting to a more tribal and toxic environment.
Take Kalia Copper's reaction to the Fever fans, for instance. Her frustration wasn't just about Bonner getting heckled. It seemed like an indictment of fans who dared to step outside the league's unspoken rules. But does that signal a disconnect between the WNBA and a new wave of sports fans? Enter the Caitlin Clark effect. Clark has drawn in an entirely different crowd. Die-hard sports fans who thrive on intense rivalries, emotional reactions, and yes, jeering the other team. These fans live for trash talk and dramatic moments, but their energy clashes with the league's long-standing culture of supportive, inclusive fandom. This isn't to say the WNBA shouldn't uphold its values. The league has built a strong foundation by focusing on activism and community. That's a huge part of its identity. But this approach might also be limiting its ability to fully embrace the competitive edge that traditional sports fans expect. Look at leagues like the NFL, which celebrates rowdy tailgates, or the NBA, where trash talk isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. These leagues recognize that fan passion drives engagement and growth. The WNBA's challenge isn't fan passion, it's learning to embrace it. By balancing its core values with the reality of intense sports culture, the league has a chance to thrive like never before. But can it find that balance before fans grow frustrated? The WNBA's future depends on whether it can embrace the fire its fans bring. Passionate fans aren't the problem. In fact, they're the solution. The league's response to moments like booing reveals a deeper struggle to adapt, but this energy is exactly what's needed to fuel growth. Imagine the WNBA as a space where rivalries, emotion, and intensity coexist with its core values. If the league channels that energy, it could redefine how people see women's basketball entirely. A louder, more engaged fan base isn't something to fight against. It's what could make the WNBA unstoppable. So where do they go from here?